Yeah.
Okay, great. This is it. Okay, great. I'm going to do screen sharing. So let's see. Do I just click full screen when I click
Are
screen?
you on a Mac or are you on a PC?
PC.
Yeah, then you can go full screen. Little tip
Okay.
in Hangouts, you can't go full screen on Macs.
Okay. Can you see my PowerPoint?
Not yet. We still see you.
Okay.
It usually takes a while to start up. You hit that
Oh,
little,
okay.
you hit the little green, the arrow coming out of the green computer.
Yeah, and then I clicked full screen.
No, don't do that. Actually,
Okay, and then I clicked start screen
there we
share.
go. There we go. Oh, we had you for a second.
Okay. Now can you see my PowerPoint?
Yep.
We good to go?
Yeah, so click on her screen. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, awesome. You see my screen with the two pictures on top?
Yep. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, hi. I can't see you, but I know you can hear me. So I love YouTube. So tell me why you came to this session or what you hope to find out.
How to help my students make some videos.
Making videos. Okay, great. Anyone else?
I want to do a better job of maintaining and using my YouTube channel. I feel like I'm making a lot of videos and it's not doing anything.
Oh, okay. Do you want more hits or do you want to use them in your classes?
I already use them in class. I know that my students don't pay attention to them, but
Okay. Okay, great. I'll tell you what works for me, and then we'll see. We'll go from there.
yeah, and part of that question, Peggy, is like, what counts? Is it hits? Is it views? Is it usage?
Exactly.
What's
Yeah,
the money?
Yeah. I know it's so multifaceted. I don't think it's hits, although I'll show you some of my analytics in the end and tell you what I'm inferring from my analytics. So, okay, so here we go. I'll share and then I hope we can talk at the end because I think it's engaging and the key is to engage. I'll just say right off the bat, voiceover PowerPoints are probably the worst type of video. I have tried those and they hated them. They told me they hated them. They told me they didn't even watch them. But the ones I'm going to show you have been popular and the feedback's been good. So here we go. So these are versatile DIY videos. I've been teaching online since '08. I'm a literacy professor at UT Arlington. I was kind of thrown into the deep end with online. And then I learned about flip cameras, remember those, and started creating a multitude of videos with my flip camera. And I've now branched out. I do a little more professional type videos at a studio on campus. I use my iPad 2 with YouTube Capture. Are y'all familiar with YouTube Capture, the app?
No, I haven't used it.
Yeah, it's good. It's free. The trick is to look at the camera. Remember where the camera...
My iPad is a camera.
What's that?
The trick is not to record video with an iPad.
It's good for short clips, and that I think YouTube Capture is good if you want your students to have access if they have those types of devices. So here we go. I believe this comes from a sort of DIY edupunk philosophy, at least for me. I want my videos to not be locked down. I want to create open access knowledge for people. My main area of teaching is elementary literacy, beginning reading, and a wide variety of topics. And I think that's broad enough that there's broad interest in some of my videos. And so my goal is open access knowledge. So there's my channel. You can just Google me and it should pop up. Any thoughts on this?
What do you mean by edupunk?
Okay, edupunk. To me, that I'm not entirely thoroughly familiar with this term, but to me, it goes with creating your own instructional materials. So I've always been a do it myself person. I want to have control over what I'm doing, and I want to share that. So it's kind of a philosophy, I think.
It's like open learning.
It kind of ties with open learning, but I think it's more do-it-yourself. Make your own videos rather than use the ones provided by the textbook. So, okay, so here's kind of my taxonomy, and I'll share some of these. On the left side, micro lectures are intended to be like 1 to 5 minute snapshot, sort of Cliff's notes of a topic. So introduce the topic, give the gist of a topic and then kind of wrap it up in 1 to 5 minutes. I wouldn't go over 10. The second type of video is demonstration. Those are by far the most popular among my students. That's where I demonstrate a teaching technique. I usually enlist my niece. The students in my classes have seen my niece from 6 months old to 5 years old. So she's been in those, and I'm going to start doing more demonstration videos with my boyfriend's nieces and nephews. So anyone and everyone. And then, yeah, I think they like those the most. They can see themselves in the videos, and it builds their confidence, even though they're not participating. They can see themselves as teachers by watching me demonstrate. I use tags and overlays and annotations to enhance those. So I'm naming and labeling with the sort of theoretical constructs during those videos. So they're not just demonstrations. I'm trying to, layer them with some, rationale, why I'm doing a technique and naming it.
Are you using only the native YouTube editing to add in your After Effects, or are you doing that in a video editing program before you upload?
I'm a little bit limited technically, and so, like my knowledge of video editing, and so I use the YouTube editor, and it's really, really easy. Sometimes I enlist my boyfriend to help me with Adobe and that kind of thing, but time-wise...
Adobe After Effects?
Yeah, I don't know if it's After Effects. It might just be Adobe, some kind of Adobe software.
Okay.
Yeah, but YouTube editor is really easy. So you can just edit it right in it, and it's pretty instant. So, and then publish it. And then a new kind of video I've been doing is dialogue videos. So rather than being super authoritative, I enlist the help of a colleague, usually at my university, and then we just sort of sit on a couch or something and talk unscripted about a topic. And so those students really like those. So I'll share 1 or 2 of those. But that's kind of different. And then number 4, traditional lecture videos, and then tutorials like screencasts that help them navigate. For instance, I use webinars, and some of my students didn't know how to act, or they weren't sure how to be a student in a webinar. So I made a video showing them how to be a student in a webinar, or what I thought were good ideas on that. So.
What are you supposed to do in a webinar? Because we were having that talk earlier today.
As a student. What do you mean, as a student?
Yeah, as a student or as somebody sitting there viewing a webinar, it's like most of us just said earlier in a conversation, we just tune out.
Yeah, exactly. So, oh man, so I'm like Miss Accountability. So they have to come prepared to type in the chat window. Typing in the chat window is pretty mandatory. We do small group breakouts. They need to type, not be a barnacle. So just things like that, and I help them navigate. So some students are completely new to the process, and so it's more like an orientation tool, but it's also an expectation tool. I can go over that time permitting.
And I think you're right with the length of the videos. Even if you have a 40-minute class, breaking it up into 7 to 10 minute videos are way better than
yeah
video, because I look at my hits, and the shorter the video, the more plays you get.
Yeah, no more than 10 minutes. And then what I do, kind of related on the right side, I'll just touch on this. I put more resources in the info section, like text-based links and, kind of that whole Sherpa thing, leading people to further information, should they want it. And that's kind of my virtual mother hen philosophy. I'm going to give a lot of resources. They're there if you need it, kind of thing. So let me jump into the sort of taxonomy. The micro lectures are just, I've taught this writing class for forever, and they do a mentor text unit, and we'll be halfway through it, and a student will say, I don't even know what a mentor text is. And I'm like, really? So I do these micro lectures to give an overview about the topic. It's kind of a remediation tool, I see it as, personally, because to me these are, if you didn't quite get it from the textbook, this will help you as a previewing tool, or even midstream. Like I said, those students who are halfway through the assignment and then ask me this question. So they come from students' questions, I'd say. Tricky concepts. I don't think this is a tricky concept, but some students find it to be tricky.
Just-in-time, on-demand teaching. Right?
Exactly, yeah. So it's responsive. They're sort of not pre-planned. So there I am in my office. And then you can see the annotation I've added, like again, I don't take for granted students will know all the terminology, and so I just add annotation. Demonstration videos are my favorite. They're students' favorites. Again, you know, they have real children in them. In this case, I'm sort of just starting with my niece, but I just demonstrate and showcase something. Like here, I'm asking her about her favorite books in an informal, informational interview, and it's something I'm encouraging them to do in their own teaching. So I feel modeling it in a video will help them. As a side note, a lot of students say they watch these videos multiple times. So any thoughts on these? These are probably the most popular.
Cute converts to clicks, guys.
I know, it really does. They're fun. I usually give her a piece of chocolate to do these.
Bribery.
Bribery works.
First couple seconds of one of those.
What's that?
Show us the first chunk of one of those.
Sure. Yeah. Let me pull that up.
See how
the link's in the screen, and I don't know that the audio.
Well, now you can actually share a YouTube movie right in the. Can't you?
just let it go.
Oh, okay. So can you see my YouTube?
Yeah.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yep.
Okay, great. So, you know, somebody said their YouTube channel was a bit of a mess. So is mine. I need playlists. I really recommend playlists.
Same, like add the cover art, break my vid. You can group your videos by topic.
Yes. So
Because you do so many specifically for a class that aren't, you know, related to anything else from that class.
Naomi Wagner, my niece.
can you hear it?
Yep.
She's going to share about her favorite books, and then after, she's going to tell us about any other authors or books she likes. Naomi, how old are you?
5.
You're in kindergarten.
Yes.
Tell us about books you like. We want to know about you as a reader. Oh, this is a book reading interview, so you can do this with your students. It's very informal. Okay, so tell us about the books you like to read. And if you can hold it up to the video, we can see the picture of the front.
Coaching.
Well, this is a book that I like, and it has mice in it that get themselves painted.
Ah, what do you like about it?
Well, it's funny because they paint themselves in there.
Oh, yeah, they get different colors.
Peggy,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Let's see.
so when you send this out, and you're probably going to get into it, but like, so you put together the video, you get it up on YouTube, you make sure it looks perfect, like, how do you send it out to your classes? What are your expectations?
Okay. Right. So it's mandatory viewing. So I actually, although my channel is unorganized, I have a strategic way of sharing. So I have professor-designed content in my online classes, and so I embed them in those. They're required reading and viewing. I usually have a guiding question, like, what do you think? How could this be useful? What do you notice about the language I'm using? You know, I have some guiding questions to supplement, and then they have to post to the discussion board. Of course, we all use discussion board, right? And so they post their response to the video on the discussion board.
Yeah, I did this last trimester. Is I put together this long, way too long, like 35-minute video on Common Core, and sent it out to my students, and we put one sentence at the very end of the whole video where we said something about like the word of the day is like aardvark or like artichoke or something. And then we said anybody that comes into class that they know what the word of the day is. It's something we put at the very, very, very end.
Yeah.
To see if kids were watching the whole thing, and they actually were. I was surprised, but that was a little too.
Or the first kid didn't, just everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody paid along.
Sends everybody to them. Yeah.
I'm going to do that too. That's great.
Put
That's awesome.
little Easter eggs in your videos.
Yeah, I like that actually. That's neat. Yeah, but they actually watch them, and when they see me, sometimes in the parking lot on campus, they're like, "I love your videos," because I teach online. And then, so those are fun. I want to branch out into more demonstrations because it's what they like. They all say, "I'm a visual learner." And then there's dialogue videos. So I pick an expert. Here's somebody from our Mind Brain program, and I know very little about the brain, and so I usually tried to pick people from those types of programs that can kind of, these are more enrichment videos, so they're entirely non-scripted. In fact, I'm a pretty non-scripted person. So, but I had guiding questions, and this is in a more professional studio on campus. So, but these are neat. I don't know. Does anyone else do anything like this? Dialogue?
Well, we do Ian and I run the LRA research to practice shows, which are kind
right.
of dialogue-ish.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is a dialogue video.
They look great, though. I wish I had a public. We go back and forth and trying to figure out the lighting you need at a home for a good YouTube channel, or getting a good mic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you worry at all about mics or
It's a
lighting?
professional
Or
studio.
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, my standards are pretty low for audio and whatnot and lighting, but I'm pretty impressed with our studio on campus.
But that's something I need to do because I don't like standing in front of my computer when I lecture. So I can't just have the internal mic going. So I want to get a lavalier mic that I can do when I lecture, so I can walk around.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I have this, and then I use my headset mic. But these look goofy. Whoops.
We're not looking at you.
They
Let's
do.
see.
What
I-
everyone in the room? What we do is we'll make what we call multimodal tutorials. We'll do like the demonstration videos. So we do a lot of screencasts, like
Yeah.
use of that, and it's like we've been trying to figure out the best way to do that. Like just keep it simple, keep it a couple minutes, 2-3 minutes, and then use some text on it. It's like what's the best way to build those things?
I have no idea. I know I'm just getting into screencasting. I'm a little behind. I've screencasted on my iPad using ScreenChomp.
You should
That's
explain everything. Upgrade.
To what?
Explain everything on the iPad.
Oh.
Well, why I like it, Peggy? Do you have a Mac?
No, I have a PC for my.
But explain everything's more robust in ScreenChomp. It has more features. You can embed videos right in your screencast. You can embed websites.
Yeah, it's pretty versatile, and then I think students that we teach can teach it to their own students.
Mm-hmm. Say it, move it.
Yeah. Let me just share this one real quick. The traditional lectures, I try to limit these just to very complex topics. So as you know, in literacy, many teachers don't understand phonological awareness. So I make these lecture videos. This one is actually from when I taught on campus, and this has the most views on my channel. It has 36,000 views. So tough topic.
I use that video in my class. Can't lie.
What's that?
I use that video in my class.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and I just, spontaneously made this. But it's interesting that so many people have, struggle with it, and they probably watch it more than once.
I've watched that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I going back to the point you said, like the just, a lot of times I'll just record my lectures, which is literally just my PowerPoint, and
Right.
those, dude, they're awful. They're like mind-numbingly awful to watch.
But do people watch that? Are those valuable?
Yes.
Yeah, they watch them. What I think I really have to do, but I don't have the production time, is that do 2 cameras where I'm recording my screen and I'm recording my lecture, and then remixing in post-production. That's work.
Is it worth it though?
It is, but I think you get more engagement than just.
Like you guys see those horrible lectures that I record, like just the PowerPoint and then you're like, which one?
Yeah.
Can you please clarify which horrible lecture? So if you have, there's me doing a voiceover. Is there any benefit to having like a mixing back and forth of like you see the person and then there's the PowerPoint with the audio? Like, what would be the best?
It gets less stagnant, in terms of what you're seeing on the screen. Just because I think the nature of watching a long video, especially when you're online, like you tab over to what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to keep that viewer's attention. Really.
And I think Peggy's analytics prove it, that the more the face-to-face videos do better than the recorded lectures.
Yeah, I think they like to see their professor. So a lot of people are reluctant.
Well, because some of them, like Screencast-O-Matic, will let you put your picture on the side.
Right.
And I don't use that because I look the way that I do. So I'm like, if I have my little...
You always look better in the dark.
So if I had that picture down there, I don't know.
But that's what I mean. Maybe it does need to be post-production. So you're having one camera on you and another camera, and you're recording your screen, and then you kind of match up the audio. But that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. Echo 360 does that. If you have that.
What's it?
Echo 360 is like a lecture capture tool.
Oh, we use Tegrity here. Well, nobody uses
Oh,
it.
okay.
That's what we pay for.
I use
Similar.
it's in Air now.
Yeah, I use just Hangouts on Air.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. I think that those were the main one. Those were the main ones. I do use. Someone asked about this video, how to be a student in a webinar. So I show this screencast. I think I use Screencast-O-Matic, and I opened up Blackboard Collaborate and did a fake session. And then I just navigated around because there were students that were like, I was completely overwhelmed. And so I hadn't anticipated that. And then I also wanted them to come prepared, especially for the small group breakout sessions, and have some ideas about the topic. I had a class with almost 200 students. We have these large-scale online classes, and so I have to do these types of tutorials with that many people. And then about 50 to 60 come to the webinars, so they need to come already prepared. I don't have time to baby anyone along, so to speak.
How many?
So, go ahead.
How many people?
I had almost 200 students in this grad class, and I had about 50 to 60 would come to each webinar. So.
Well, that's excellent.
Quite a continuum. So anyway, and then I also added ways they could personalize it, like resizing, just kind of logistical stuff that they could do, not necessarily related to content. So I think that's it. But tutorials, you probably can't see my analytics. Over 111,000 views, 512 subscribers. But the interesting thing is to see how many views there are for each video. So the phonological awareness is the winner, 36,000 views. Teaching main idea, that's a traditional lecture also, 16,000 views. These are the biggies are actually the traditional lectures. So maybe they found them through their search engines.
I think it's also other professors using them in their classes. And
oh, I hadn't thought of that. Okay, good point. Right.
My analytics are nowhere near yours. Ian has your biggest ones are your Google Docs tutorials. They have a few thousand views.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, mine are more like.
Yeah, but look at I can't believe her amount of views.
I did a whole thing with just screencasts on like different text structures. And,
cool.
And those are my biggest ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reading development or. The more it seems like the more content specific you make your videos, the better off you seem to do.
Interesting. Yeah, specific topics work well, and maybe the name of the video is also enhancing that.
And cute kids.
Yeah, and cute kids, they love it. Some goals I want to make. I'm hoping to get more into faculty development next year, but I'm sort of de facto or informally helping others on campus make videos, and so I want to make some meta videos, like YouTube videos about how to use YouTube. I think that's my big project for the summer, and more demonstration videos. So I like the idea of repositories where we can share these.
Well, what we do is to share them is we curate our own playlists.
Oh, yeah, the playlist, exactly.
And then we can embed those with each other. I build playlists for most of my modules for my reading foundations classes.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys have to take if you take the reading test in Texas, the Pearson one.
No, they take a Texas reading specialist test, or
those. I'm getting a lot. I'm doing very well with. I've only posted one video for the first part of that test, and I think. If you wanted to come out with Praxis Core coming up instead of Praxis 1, with all the Praxis 2 content changes for elementary ed, that's where we need to come together and make it.
Yeah. We don't use that, unfortunately. But I'm going to take.
It's unfortunate that you don't take Praxis 2. It's a very fortunate thing.
But I think that's it, y'all. YouTube Capture is a simple tool if students need a simple way to get started.
Hey, my last question is, and I get in arguments about this with people, but people keep saying that there is a button to download the transcript from YouTube.
There is.
Where?
Oh.
You can. YouTube isn't great at it. Right here.
Somebody
It's on
said
the
there's.
bottom.
So, yeah, I look at it all the
It's like a
time.
little red thing.
That's how I find, like, because I don't.
So like our LRA shows, I can just download a transcript.
You can. What I do with the transcripts is, I've started when we have 1 hour shows, because people only watch 3 to 4 minute clips. I embed videos at certain start and stop times, and then I'll add a section under that section, like this is what you need to pay attention to in this clip. So in one bit, I might embed the same video 5 times, but put a start-stop time on it, and figure out where I want to start-stop. I'll Control F or Apple F a word in the transcript to find out exactly where I need to start and stop. So if you're on YouTube,
Cool.
I'll show you. Of course, now that I have children, my recommended video lists are becoming stranger and stranger.
Yeah,
I can learn about
got
the truck crane part challenges.
Yeah, I got that. I got Monster Jam stuff. Computer repair.
Right here. See this little button? That's the transcript button.
Where is it?
This right there. Transcripts. And the best part about it is the transcripts are searchable. So if there's one word I'm looking for,
Oh,
so
I was
like
gonna pay my GA to do all that.
so you did Creative Commons, it's right there. So now I know if I want to embed just the part about the video about Creative Commons, take 39 times 60 plus 46, put that in your embed code. What?
Yeah.
And then
I didn't know. All right,
start stop.
Cool.
Awesome. That's all I have.
You guys have any questions?
Any
for Peggy?
questions?
No, thank you.
How do we get the viewer count? That is cool. You got plans for the rest of the day?
Myself?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, we're going to go out to the dog park
Oh.
back in Dallas.
Yes, 10 to 12 spot observations is a lot. They're questions
Oh,
from
yeah.
Facebook.
Oh, gosh, don't get me started.
That is a lot, yes.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Oh.
All right.
Thank you, Peggy.
Thank you.
Thanks for the tech support, too.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
What time do the night session start?